I hope you guys are ready because today I'm going to bring out the Swiss Army knife for Windows. It's called PowerToys, but don't be fooled by the name. It's a set of professional, super handy tools for everyday use, and unlike a Swiss Army knife, it's all free. For example, you're going to get Always on Top. This allows you to pin a window on your screen to always be on top. You'll get a free tool to resize multiple images all at once. You'll get a global color picker and a cool tool called FancyZones. Now, there's a lot more free tools and they're all special in their own way. I'm going to introduce you to the main ones and share my personal favorite at the end of the video. One thing to mention though is that PowerToys isn't new. It already has a long history. It was initially developed by Microsoft for Windows 95. It's obviously got many improvements since. The current version of PowerToys is compatible with Windows 10 and 11. And the great thing is that they've been made available open source on GitHub. You'll find Microsoft's official documentation about PowerToys right here. To install PowerToys, head over to this link here, and I'm going to add the direct link as well to the description of this video. You're going to find the latest release, scroll down, and download the EXE version. Install it and then launch it. Just go to your Windows icon and type in PowerToys. You can see it right here. Let's select that. My favorite utility popped up here, Always on Top. But before we get here, let's start from the beginning. Under General, we get some idea about what these set of utilities do. Basically, they help you have a better Windows experience and improve your productivity. If you have this button on, updates will be automatically installed for you. And there have been quite a few updates in the past months. Now let's go to Always on Top. This utility allows you to pin a window of your choice to be always on top. Here's the activation key, and you can customize the shortcut if you need to. Let's take a look at an example. I use sticky notes quite a bit. What bothers me though is that whenever I'm working, the sticky notes disappear. I want to pin them to be always on top. Well, you can do that with PowerToys. You just have to select this window and use the shortcut key Control Windows T. This is going to pin my window to be on top. Now I can go ahead and work and take a look at my notes at the same time. You can use this during video conferences. You can use this when you're learning. Pin the window of your choice to be always on top. Next great utility is Awake. You know the feeling when you upload files to your drive and then you go for lunch and come back and you realize that nothing happened because your computer went to sleep? Well, you don't have to feel like that anymore if you use the Awake feature. So what I used to do was to update my system settings. I would go to my power settings and adjust these, but then I usually forgot to turn them back to the default. With Awake, I don't have to worry about this because it doesn't change your system default settings. It just enables you to override them. Here under Mode, you can select if you want to keep Awake indefinitely or keep Awake temporarily. Then you can put in the hours and minutes and decide if you also want to keep your screen on. The great thing is that you're going to find Awake in your system tray here. You can then adjust your settings as you need. You could turn it off, you could change it, or update your screen settings. Another side note is that PowerToys is also available in your Windows tray. So to bring it up, you can also select it from here. The next cool utility is called Text Extractor. If I scroll down here, you'll find it on the bottom. This one allows you to easily copy text from anywhere on the screen. So for example, let's say you're watching a video and then you come across some text that you find interesting. You want to grab that text. Well, you can do that with PowerToys Text Extractor. The shortcut key for it is right here. You can customize it if you want. I'm going to use it on this video, Windows Shift T, and then you can select the part of the text that you want. It's going to automatically copy it to clipboard, open up the document that you want to paste it in, and then press Ctrl V. You should double check the text to make sure everything got picked up correctly, but it does do a pretty good job. Next one are mouse utilities. Find My Mouse is great for people that have multiple monitors. Press left Ctrl twice to find your mouse or shake the mouse to find it. So if I go here, start shaking my mouse, it's spotlighted and I can easily find my mouse. Another great utility, especially if you're presenting, is the mouse highlighter. If I turn this on and use this activation shortcut key, which I can also customize, then I get to highlight my mouse whenever I use it. This is great for presentations. If you're in a Teams meeting and you're supposed to be presenting, you could activate the mouse highlighter to bring attention to where you are on the screen. You can customize the highlighting options. Under Appearance and Behavior, you can define the primary button highlight color, the secondary button highlight color, so this is if you do a right mouse click, opacity, radius, and so on. In addition to this, you can turn on mouse pointer crosshairs, which is a more dramatic effect. So if I use the shortcut key, you're going to get this effect. Next up is PowerToys Run. This one is a quick launcher comparable to Apple Spotlight. So when I use the shortcut Alt-Space, I get to type in the name of the app I want to launch and then press Enter, and here it is. Next is Screen Ruler, a great utility for those that work with images and want to measure pixels directly on their screen. Let's activate this using the shortcut key Windows-Shift-M. We're going to see a control pop up here on your screen. Now let's say you're in a PowerPoint presentation and you want to get the pixels associated with this box here. Go up to the control, click on the plus, hover to the side of this box, and image detection picks it up and gives you the pixels for that. Now if image detection doesn't work properly, you can go ahead and make your own selection, draw your own box, and see the pixels for that area. Next cool utility is the color picker. This gives you a quick and simple way to pick a color from anywhere that you see on your screen. You can activate it using the shortcut key. Once you do, you get the color picker show up here. So if I hover my mouse over this, you get to see the color of this. Now let's say you're on a website, you're looking for nice colors to use on your Excel dashboard. You come across this video here that showcases a dashboard with a really cool orange. You want to grab that. Just use your activation key, Windows-Shift-C, hover over the bar, and click. You get to see the hex, RGB, and HSL codes for this color. Now on top, if you click inside, you can make adjustments to the color that you just picked. You also get darker and lighter versions of this color. So if I click here and click to use these colors, I get the hex code associated with these as well. To bring this over to Excel, for example, I just need to copy this, open up Excel, go to Fill Colors, More Colors, Custom, and paste in the hex code. You can of course use this across any application of your choice. The next great utility is called Image Resizer. This one allows you to resize bulk images just by right-clicking them in your Windows Explorer. You already have some presets here for small, medium, large, and phone. You can also add a custom size. So for us, we have a specific web size that we use. So I'm just going to rename this to web, adjust the width to be 800 and the height 450. That's it. You have some more options here that you can adjust. You can also decide on the pattern that you want for the file name format. You're going to see what this is in a second. Now let's head over to Windows Explorer. I have these course images that are bigger in size, so they're 2400 times 1350, and I want to bulk resize them. I'm just going to select these, right mouse click, and resize pictures. If you don't see this option here, click on Show More Options. Once you click Resize Pictures, you're going to be able to select the size that you want. We're going to go with the custom one that I just created for web. Adjust these if you need to, and then click on Resize. And you're automatically going to get a copy of these with the original file name, followed by the custom resize option that you chose. Notice the dimensions here have been automatically updated. I don't need to resize these one by one. Now comes the utility I use every single day, FancyZones. This one allows you to create custom Windows layout to make it easy for you to multitask. So I'm a fan of using a single monitor, and I like to arrange my windows in special ways depending on the task that I'm doing. Now I know that Windows has its own special way of organizing, but these are not as flexible and easy to use as FancyZones. Let me show you. Under Launch Layout Editor, you get to define your own custom layout. So I have one for recording, for learning, and three-way learning. You also get some standard templates that you can choose from. You can easily create your own custom layout by clicking on this plus. You can give it a name, select a type that you want. I'm going to go with grid and click on Create. Now all you have to do is make adjustments by moving these borders. To add new ones, just right mouse click here. If you made a mistake and you want to merge them, just highlight these and then merge the zones together. Customize this to the way you like. Once you're done, click on Save and Apply. You can always go back to edit adjust the name, add a custom shortcut key combination to this if you want, which you can activate if you select Control Windows Alt and then this number and click on Save. Now the last one selected is going to be the default. So if I close this, let's bring up an Excel file here. And now I'm just going to click on this, hold down Shift, and I'm going to have my zones activated in the background. I can decide where I want to drop it in. The one that's highlighted is where it's going to end up in when I let go of the mouse. Now, if I bring up my sticky note here, let's hold down Shift to see the different zones. I'm going to drop it in here. If you want to switch between the zones, you can use those custom shortcut keys that you had. So for example, if I want to switch to my learning zone, I'm going to use Control Windows Alt 2. Now that's the active one. So if I hold down Shift now, I can drop this on this side, select my sticky notes, hold down Shift, and drop it on the side here. If you forget what your shortcut keys are, no problem. You can go back to PowerToys here, launch the layout editor, and just select the one that you want, or use the activation shortcut. So I've customized my activation shortcut to something that I can easily remember. Now, aside from this, you have a lot more options here. So if you're planning to use FancyZones, take a look at these and see how you can optimize these to your advantage. Now, aside from these, there are many more utilities that you might find useful depending on the type of task that you do. For example, Keyboard Manager allows you to easily remap a key or remap a shortcut. Power Rename allows you to easily rename multiple files in Windows Explorer. This is a great tool if you don't have complex renaming criteria. Then you have Quick Accent. This gives you an easy way to type accented letters. The shortcut guide is a great one too, especially for me who tends to forget what some of the Windows shortcuts are. So if you set this to hold down the Windows key, what you get to see is this. So I'm just holding down the Windows key for a couple of seconds, and then I get this pop up. And this reminds me what type of Windows shortcut combinations exist. For example, Windows V opens the clipboard history. If I just hold down the Windows key and press V, I see my clipboard history on the side here. So these are all the items that I've copied previously. Okay, so these are my favorites. Now, since I discovered them, I use Always on Top and FancyZones pretty much every day. Let me know what you think. If you have a personal favorite, please share below. Okay, so I hope you found this video useful. If you did, do give it a like, share it with someone who may benefit from it as well. And that's it for today. Catch you next time.